Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this week we're going to talk about things I wish I would have known before I started my locks. So when it comes to locks, I believe that before you get started with locks, you definitely need to know what type of hair that you have, because depending on the type of hair you have will depend on what method you may or may not want to use. My hair is a type 4 hair, which means it's very thick, very curly, but my hair is also very spongy. I don't have the coarse type hair. I have the very spongy, soft type hair. And I started my hair with comb coils, and it turns out that the sponginess may look good with a puff, because you know it's a sponge, so it looks good. You can't see through the hair. I don't have the kind of thin hair to where you see through the puff, so it looked good when I was a loose natural. But when I locked up, that sponginess just constricted and it made my locks smaller than I wanted them to. So the first tip is to start with 2-strand twists, because 2-strand twists, after looking at more videos and people with my type hair, I noticed that it made the hair a lot thicker. So no matter if it did constrict or tighten up after it started to mature, their buds swelled up enough to make the locks thicker, if that makes any sense. Another thing is, after I had already made my mistake of comb coiling, there was another method that I could have used to make sure that I get the thickness that I wanted. You know how you have some locks that are just straight, the same width going all the way down, then you have the locks that are start off skinny at the root and then get thicker? Well, I like the skinny getting thicker. I like it to look thick at the ends. And I found a video once it was too late of how a girl back combed her locks when she was in like maybe 5 or 6 months. It's like right before they started to bud, so it was getting hard, but it was soft enough to manipulate it still. So she did the back combing at the ends and it made her ends thicker, and then she did nothing for a couple of months. So she back combed and semi freeformed for a while, and then that made her locks thicker at the end. I did do that, but I did not semi freeform. I think I kept it for maybe a couple weeks, and then I did another style, and then the back combing that I did came out. So yeah, that's one of the things. Another thing is retwisting too often. I know you may hear that a lot, but that is perhaps one of the most important things about having locks. Not manipulating them too much to where they can't thicken up or they can't mature and bud and all that stuff. It's just very hard. It was very hard for me in the beginning to see such a nappy head. Some of you may not like me saying that, but it is what it is. I think nappy is beautiful, but at that time I didn't want the nappy. This is fine, you know. This is considered, for me, this is nappy, because I can't really see my roots like I want to, but my hair is at the length to where it looks okay. But when I first started, it was hard for me to not be able to see my roots, and so I retwisted every 2 weeks. And that retwisting every 2 weeks was just absolutely horrible for my type of hair. I didn't have the type of hair where I can retwist every 2 weeks. There are some people who just have that thick, coarse hair, and retwisting every 2 weeks is absolutely necessary, or the hair is going to get thicker. Mine is not that type. So retwisting too often was definitely a problem. So now I have to do a semi free-forming kind of thing to where I can thicken them up. I have seen some people that just stopped twisting their hair, just kept it, you know, when it gets too much new growth, twisted it a little bit but without parting, and doing that every 2 to 3 months and their hair start to thicken up. So that's what I'm doing right now. I am reversing all of the retwisting that I've done. In the back, okay, I don't know why I did this, but parts are very, 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 very important. You know, sometimes it just seems like, especially if you're doing your own hair, it was a good idea for me to do grab and go in the very back and then start to do boxes as I went up, just because when I put it in a ponytail I didn't want to see the rows of boxes like that. I don't like that look. Well, I didn't think I was going to like that look, but then as time went on I realized that I did want the boxes, and the grab and go didn't look as good as I wanted it to. So if you are considering doing locks, really consider the types of parts you want. They have the C shapes, they have the diamonds, they have the boxes, there's the grab and go method. Really take your time and look at people's videos, look at people's journeys, and see what you like. Me personally, I wish I would have stayed with the boxes, so that way I had the perfect size parts, because now it's grab and go in the back and rest of my hair is boxes, and it's just for me personally it's aggravation. When I first started my locks, before I did my own locks, I went to the salon and I had someone do my locks, and I thought that the big boxes, they were perfect boxes. They were perfect boxes except for in the very front. They were really, really small, and it threw my hair off to me, and I thought the boxes were going to be too big. But turns out that she was actually right in the size of the boxes that she did. I made my boxes a lot smaller, which made my locks a lot smaller. Had I had the boxes that she did originally and just maybe changed the front 2 rows and made those boxes a little bit more appealing, then I think my hair would have been perfect. So yeah, that's the things that I've learned. Some mistakes that I've made, just retwisting too much. Really pay attention to your boxes. If you don't get the locks that you want, you find that your locks are going to be a little bit too thin, especially at the ends, make sure you back comb and don't do anything to your hair for a while after you back comb. And don't retwist too often, if I haven't said that one already. But yeah, that's the things that I wish I would have changed. You know, some people, when they make these mistakes, there's people on YouTube who have 2 or 3 different journeys, and that's fine. But to me, I don't think it's worth for me to start over and make the perfect locks. I think my locks are just like life. You know, stuff happens, you just have to adjust. So I'm going to make do with what I have and try to fix the stuff that I've made mistakes on. So that's the things that I wish I would have known. I hope this video helps you out. What are some things that you guys have, you know, made mistakes on, or some lessons that you've learned during your journey? I would like to hear from you. Please leave that in the comment box below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, like, comment, share, and you can always follow me on Instagram at naturalbeauty0214. Bye.